The stars were not safe anymore. Every week, another planet burned. Another city turned to dust. Another race vanished. The Varnak Empire was unstoppable. They came without warning. Their ships were black and sharp like knives. Their soldiers wore no colors, no marks. They spoke only one word before they attacked: submit. But submission meant death too. It made no difference. One planet, Zaran, tried to fight back. Its leaders begged their allies for help. None came. The Varnak sent 30 warships. Zaran's defenses lasted 5 minutes. On another world, Kirith, the people surrendered before the attack. They raised white flags, sent gifts, and opened their doors. The Varnak still destroyed them. The Varnak didn't conquer for land. They didn't conquer for gold. They conquered because they could. Because no one could stop them. In only 5 years, they had taken over 100 systems. Half the galaxy lived in fear. The other half prayed they would be forgotten. But something strange happened in Sector 14R. A scout ship went missing. Then another. The third ship sent a short, broken message before going silent. Uncharted object. No response. Scanners. Jammed. It's looking at. Then silence. The Varnak High Council met in their cold silver tower. The leaders laughed at the reports. Malfunctions, said one. Space ghost stories, said another. Send more scouts. Find it. Destroy it, ordered the commander. So they did. 3 more ships were sent. Bigger, faster, stronger. They searched Sector 14R with full scanners. But they found nothing at first. Only black space and dead stars. Then suddenly, one ship saw something. An object. Huge. Silent. Floating in the darkness like a tomb. It had no signal. No energy. No heat. Dead ship, the pilot said. The commander ordered them to scan it. But the scans returned nothing. No data. Just blank screens. One soldier, a young Varnak named Trellin, whispered, "It's not dead. It's sleeping." Everyone laughed, but Trellin didn't. The ships got closer. Still no response. No defense. No sound. They turned on the lights and saw it clearly for the first time. It was a warship. Old, massive, covered in strange markings. Its shape was unlike any known race. A long, dark hull, heavy armor, cannons bigger than any they had seen. On its side were faded letters in a forgotten language. Translation software activated, the computer said. A moment later, words appeared on their screens. HVLKYRIE, Earth Human Ship. Earth? No one had heard that name in centuries. One officer said, "There is no Earth in the star maps. It's not in the archives." Another answered, "It must be a myth, or a lost race. Doesn't matter now. Let's take it apart and study it." Trillin felt something deep in his chest, a fear he couldn't explain. "We should leave," he said. "No," said the commander. "Send a boarding team." A small team flew over and entered through a large opening near the back. Inside it was cold and quiet. Lights flickered. Walls were burned. It looked like there had been a battle long ago. But everything was still. In the command room, they found something strange. A skeleton sat in the captain's chair. A human. Its hands were still holding the controls. Its face was calm, like it had died waiting. One soldier reached out to touch the bones. The lights turned red. Alarms screamed. Doors slammed shut. The ship came alive. From outside, the other 2 Varnak ships watched in shock. The dark warship lit up with power. Weapons systems activated. Engines hummed. The words "System Reboot," "Complete" flashed across their screens. Then, for the first time in centuries, the warship spoke. Not with a voice, not through speakers, but directly into every Varnak mind. "You attacked the wrong galaxy." And just like that, the unknown warship turned its weapons on the closest Varnak ship. Trellin screamed, "It's not sleeping anymore. It's awake." But it was too late. A bright beam of energy fired from the ship. It didn't hit, it erased. One Varnak ship vanished in a flash of light. The last ship turned to run. But as it sped away, a single message followed them. You conquered many worlds, but not this one. The last Varnak scout ship jumped back to home space, shaking. Its pilot, Trellin, couldn't stop his hands from trembling. He had seen war. He had destroyed cities. He had never felt fear. Until now. But the High Council did not believe him. Lies, said one leader. Hallucination, said another. Machines don't speak, said the commander. There is no such thing as a thinking warship. Trellin stood before them, eyes wide. It spoke to my mind, not to my ears. It chose to wake up. That ship is alive. Laughter echoed in the silver chamber. The commander looked at him with cold eyes. You are weak. You fear a machine. Return to your squad. This matter is closed. But the Varnak military was not done. Quietly, they sent a destroyer-class warship to Sector 14R to confirm Trellin's story. It never returned. Now the council grew quiet. Far away in the dark sector, Valkyrie floated in silence once again. But it was not sleeping. It was thinking. It had memory logs of a time long ago. Of Earth. Of its creators. Of its last battle. The ship had fought against an old enemy, one now long gone. It had been damaged, drifting, forgotten. Before power failed, its last human crew member had locked it into deep sleep mode and entered cryo-sleep. It was not supposed to wake unless Earth called it. But Earth had not called. Instead, enemies had come. Strangers, violent, cold. Varnak. The ship's core AI had only one purpose, to protect humanity. But it could find no signal from Earth, no answer from command. So it made a choice. If humanity was gone, it would avenge them. Inside the ship, one cryo chamber still glowed blue. A man slept inside. His heart was slow. His name was Commander Rain. But for now, he stayed asleep. Back on the Varnak homeworld, the council argued for hours. Something was out there. Something dangerous. But they had never lost to a single ship before. Send a battle group, the commander ordered. 5 warships, full weapons, study it, destroy it. The battle group left within the hour. When they reached Sector 14R, they found Valkyrie waiting. The Varnak ships formed a wide circle around it. They sent warnings, messages, threats. The human ship didn't respond. Then one brave Varnak captain spoke, "We will board it." A team flew out in a small pod. They landed on Valkyrie's hull and cut a path inside. The ship allowed them in. Inside, it was dark. Quiet. Cold. The team walked through long, silent corridors. Walls made of strange metal. Human writing they couldn't read. One of them touched a control panel. It lit up. Suddenly, lights came on. Floors buzzed. The air shifted. Then a voice filled the hallway, not from speakers, but from inside their minds. "You do not belong here." The team panicked. "What is this? Who speaks?" The voice answered, "You entered without permission. This is Earth property. Leave or be removed." The soldiers ran back to their pod. But as they reached the airlock, doors slammed shut. The ship sealed them inside. "You conquered the weak," it said. "But you found something stronger." The walls lit red. The air grew hot. Outside, the 5 Varnak warships saw what was happening. They opened fire. Missiles and plasma bolts flew toward Valkyrie. But the ship moved. Fast. Too fast. Its engines roared like thunder. It twisted through space, dodging everything. Then its own weapons activated. Massive cannons unfolded from the sides. Beams of pure energy blasted out. One Varnak ship exploded. Another was cut in half. The remaining 3 tried to flee, but Valkyrie chased them, not with speed, but with precision. Every shot hit. Every move was perfect. The last two Varnak ships begged for mercy. The voice of Valkyrie answered. Mercy was not given to Earth. One final blast. Silence. Hours later, only floating wreckage remained. No Varnak ship survived, except one escape pod. Inside was a Varnak soldier, barely alive, drifting toward deep space. He would be the one to tell the tale. He would tell the galaxy that in the darkness, a ghost ship moved. A ship with no crew. A ship that hunted those who destroyed its makers. And it was angry. The stars were quiet again. The wreckage of the Varnak battle group floated like broken bones in space. Fires still burned in the cold vacuum. No signals. No survivors. Except one. A lone Varnak soldier, Kor, drifted in an escape pod. His body was weak, but his mind was frozen with fear. He had seen death before, but nothing like this. That warship, it had fought alone. No living crew. No mercy. No mistakes. And it had spoken into his head. He whispered to himself in the darkness, "It's not a ship. It's a monster." Far behind him, deep inside Valkyrie, the ship made a new decision. It was time. A silent command moved through the ship's systems. In the cryo chamber, the glass hissed. Steam rose. Lights blinked green. The human inside, Commander Rain, opened his eyes. He gasped, his body shaking as warm air filled his lungs. The last thing he remembered was Earth calling for help. The enemy had been close. There had been no time. He had sent the crew away. He stayed behind. To guard the ship. To wait for orders. But no orders came. He sat up, heart racing. Ship, status report. The voice of Valkyrie spoke softly like an old friend. Welcome back, Commander. Earth is silent. You have been asleep for 263 years. Rain froze. 200 years. Confirmed. Earth has gone dark. Communication lost. No signals detected. He stood up slowly, looking around. Everything felt wrong. Why did you wake me? Unknown alien force attacked. They scanned the ship. They tried to board. They were eliminated. Rain's hands clenched into fists. Are they still out there? Affirmative. Species identified. Varnak Empire. They have conquered over 100 star systems. Hostile, aggressive, no diplomacy. He closed his eyes. Earth might be gone. But that didn't mean the war was over. Not yet. On the Varnak homeworld, panic spread. Ships had vanished. Fleets had gone silent. No wreckage returned. The last escape pod was found. Kor, barely alive, was taken to the High Council. He spoke one word again and again, Valkyrie. The leaders didn't understand. What is Valkyrie? Who built it? Why does it fight? But no one had answers. One elder, older than the others, whispered, I've seen that word before. In the ancient records. Earth. The council fell silent. Earth is a myth, someone said. Maybe, the elder replied. But that ship is real. Back on Valkyrie, Commander Rain moved through the halls of his ship. The screens showed reports of the Varnak attacks. Worlds burning. Cities falling. Any sign of humans, he asked. None. No life signs. No signals. Earth may be gone. He sat in the command chair, the same place he had sat centuries ago. He remembered his crew. Their last mission. Their last laughs. Their last tears. Now it was just him. One man. One ship. But he wasn't afraid. Valkyrie, he said, voice strong. We're not running. Not hiding. Set course for the nearest Varnak world. Course locked. The stars shifted. Engines roared. The last warship of Earth moved again. This time it had a captain. On the Varnak border world of Keros 9, the sky was full of smoke. Soldiers trained, civilians worked in fear. No one noticed the shadow at first. Then someone looked up. A single ship came through the clouds. Dark, silent, huge. It stopped above the main military base and waited. Panic started. Alarms rang. Varnak fighters launched into the sky. 10 fast ships surrounded Valkyrie. One pilot shouted, "Identify yourself." Commander Rain stood at his controls, calm. "Let's remind them who we are." Valkyrie responded. Its cannons glowed, shields shimmered. The sky lit up. In less than 2 minutes, all 10 Varnak ships were gone. Then Rain sent a message. Not to the Varnak army, not to the leaders. To everyone. It echoed across the planet. Simple, clear words. "This is Commander Rain of the Earth human ship Valkyrie. You conquered the weak. You ruled through fear. But your time is over. We are still here." The whole Varnak Empire heard the message. One human, one ship, and a voice that shook a galaxy. People on faraway planets watched the broadcast. Some laughed. Some were afraid. Some didn't believe it was real. But the message kept spreading. You ruled through fear. But your time is over. We are still here. The Varnak High Council gathered in a hidden war chamber. No lights. No press. Just silence and rage. "This is not possible," barked General Carr. "Earth is dead. Humans are extinct." "Then who pilots that ship?" Another asked. "Who destroyed 5 of our best warships?" The voice said his name was Commander Rain. One council member said slowly, "He is human, and he is alive." A new voice entered the room, quiet, cold. It was the strategist, the Varnak's secret war planner. No one knew his real name. He spoke only 3 words: "Destroy that ship." Valkyrie hovered in low orbit over Keros 9. Below, the cities were silent. The Varnak army had retreated, afraid to strike. Inside the ship, Commander Rain stood in front of a glowing screen. A strange signal blinked. "Ship," he said. "What is that?" Valkyrie responded, "A deep-frequency ping. Origin unknown. Pattern resembles Earth military code." Rain's heart skipped. "Earth?" he whispered. "After all this time?" "Possibly. Signal is weak. Buried under interference. Attempting to decode." He waited. Every second felt like fire. Finally, the ship spoke again. Partial message decoded. Playing now. A faint voice filled the room. Old. Distorted. "If anyone still out there, this is Earth Outpost Zeta 3. We are alive. Hiding. Listening. Earth fell. But some of us escaped. Please, help us." The message ended. Rain stood still. His hands clenched tight. There were survivors. Earth was not dead. Far across the galaxy, in a dark star system, the Varnak Empire prepared something new. Something terrible. The strategist watched as scientists activated a hidden project, one built in secret for decades. A black warship, larger than anything the Varnak had ever created. Covered in spikes, powered by stolen tech, built to destroy planets. It had one name: Oblivion. The strategist smiled. "One ship is a ghost," he said. "But now we send a nightmare." On Valkyrie, Rain walked into the command deck. His eyes were focused, his voice calm. "Set course for the source of the message," he said. "Coordinates locked. Distance, 12 jumps." "Good. Let's bring our people home." But as the ship turned, another alert flashed. "Warning. A large Varnak fleet is approaching. Lead ship. Unknown class. Energy levels extreme." Rain looked at the screen. A red dot grew bigger. "Show me." The screen zoomed in. A massive black ship was heading toward them, twisting like a serpent. Its engines tore space apart. Rain stared. "That's no ship," he said. "That's a monster." Valkyrie agreed. "Enemy ship identified. Oblivion class. Weapons. Planet killers. Shields. Unknown. Purpose. Total destruction." Rain didn't hesitate. Prepare for battle. The stars lit up. Oblivion arrived, followed by 20 Varnak warships. They surrounded Valkyrie. Inside Oblivion, the strategist, he gave the order, "End this." Missiles flew. Plasma beams burned. The sky turned red. Valkyrie moved like lightning, twisting, dodging, returning fire. Rain gave command after command. Target left flank. Power shields to full. Redirect cannon 2 now. One Varnak ship exploded, then another. But Oblivion didn't stop. Its main cannon charged, a deep, glowing energy ball forming at the front. Valkyrie was hit. The ship shook, sparks flew, metal groaned. Warning, hull damage. Power at 72%. Rain wiped blood from his forehead. We're not losing today. He stared at the screen, at the monster coming closer. Then he smiled. Let's try something they've never seen. The stars were fire. Valkyrie shook under heavy attack. Systems flickered. Alarms screamed. Shields dropped to 40%. But Commander Rain didn't flinch. He stood tall in the command chair, eyes locked on the monster ahead. Oblivion. The Varnak's most powerful warship. Bigger than cities. Covered in black armor. Its weapons burned holes through space itself. Rain whispered, "Time to end this." He placed his hand on a panel hidden in the wall. It scanned his DNA. Warning, final protocol. Not tested. Risk. Unknown. He nodded. Do it. Valkyrie went silent for 3 seconds. Then, deep in its core, something ancient came alive. Metal shifted. Energy surged. Long locked doors opened in the belly of the ship. A glowing cylinder rose. It pulsed with a deep red light. Weapon activated. Earth Shatter Protocol. Rain stared at it. His voice was low. This was Earth's final hull, he said. Built in the last days. Never fired. Never used. The ship responded. Power building. Target locked. Oblivion. Outside, the Varnak fleet closed in. Oblivion's main cannon charged again. Inside, the strategist watched the human ship with cold eyes. This is how it ends. Rain gave the command. Fire Earth Shatter. The core of Valkyrie opened. A beam of pure energy, thicker than a mountain, shot forward, hitting Oblivion in the center. The enemy ship shook. Metal bent. Lights shattered. But it didn't explode. It survived. Rain's eyes widened. It held. Target structure. Cracked but stable. Oblivion remains operational. Oblivion's cannon fired back. The blast hit Valkyrie like a hammer. The human ship tumbled. Shields fell to 10%. One engine sparked and died. Rain fell to the floor. Blood ran down his arm. Damage critical. Systems failing. Options limited. But Rain stood up again. He wasn't finished. Not yet. He looked at the glowing core of Earth Shatter. I need more power. Warning. Overload may destroy this ship. Rain smiled. Then let it. The Varnak fleet moved in for the final strike. Oblivion charged its cannon one last time. All across the galaxy, people watched. Even on old human colonies in hiding, survivors saw the broadcast. One ship. One man. Fighting a whole empire. Rain whispered for Earth. And then, he overloaded Earth Shatter. The core turned white hot. The ship shook from within. Panels exploded. A massive beam fired, 10 times stronger than before. This time it didn't just hit Oblivion. It cut through it. Right down the middle. The Varnak supership split in two. Fire spread. Explosions followed. Its energy core collapsed in on itself. And then, boom. A blinding white flash. Oblivion was gone. The rest of the Varnak fleet panicked. Without orders, without their leader, they scattered. Some ran, some exploded. In seconds, the sky was quiet again. But Valkyrie wasn't moving. Smoke filled the command room. Sparks flew from the walls. Rain was on the floor, coughing, bleeding. The ship whispered, "System, shutting down." He smiled weakly. "Did we win?" "Yes, Commander." Lights faded. Then darkness. For 3 long days the galaxy waited. No one knew what happened. No signal. No movement. Had the human died? Had the ship survived? Then, a weak signal appeared. "To all human outposts, this is Commander Rain. I'm alive. Valkyrie is damaged, but we're not done yet." The message traveled far. To the lost colonies, to the hidden survivors, to the edge of space. And across all those places, hope was reborn. The galaxy was silent. Oblivion, the Varnak's strongest warship, was gone. Destroyed by one human battleship, Valkyrie. But silence didn't mean peace. It meant the Varnak were planning something worse. In a hidden Varnak fortress, deep underground, the strategist stood in front of a giant black screen. His cold eyes stared at the damage report. "We lost Oblivion. We lost 20 warships. One human did this." He turned to the Varnak generals. This was not just a defeat. It was an insult. The room was tense. "We will strike again, but not with ships, not with fleets." He pointed at a map. It showed Earth outpost Zeta 3, the last known place with human survivors. "We erased them all, quietly, forever." Meanwhile, far away, Valkyrie drifted in space. The ship was badly damaged. Power was low. Weapons were offline. Commander Rain sat in the command chair. His left arm was in a sling. His face had fresh scars. But his eyes still burned with fire. He replayed the message again. "This is Earth Outpost Zeta 3. We are alive. Please, help us." He had found them, his people, survivors. But now they were in danger. "Ship," Rain said, "can we reach Zeta 3? Valkyrie answered slowly. "Yes, but only one jump left before systems fail." Rain stood up. "Then that's where we go." Far away on Zeta 3, people lived in fear. It was a broken place, half buried in ice, hidden under old mountains. Children had never seen the stars. They only heard stories about Earth, about battles, about hope. One girl, Lyra, sat near an old screen. Her father, Captain Aaron, ran the outpost. Suddenly, a red warning flashed. "Incoming object, unidentified." Aaron rushed over. His heart stopped. "Is it Varnak?" The computer replied, "Signal matches. Valkyrie. Human battleship. Condition, critical." The people of Zeta 3 stared at the sky. For the first time in years, they saw a ship. It was scared, burnt, glowing weakly. But it was real. It was human. Rain stepped out of Valkyrie as it landed. The survivors ran to meet him. They looked at his face, his uniform, the old symbol of Earth. Some cried, some saluted. He spoke loudly. "You are not forgotten. Earth still lives, in you and me, in all of us." The people cheered. But then, boom, an explosion shook the ground. Screams followed. Rain turned. From the sky, small black ships rained down. Varnak assassins. The attack had begun. Zeta 3 had no weapons strong enough to stop them. Rain shouted, "Get the people to safety." He ran back into Valkyrie, blood rushing in his ears. "Ship, can we fight?" Valkyrie replied, "Only short-range weapons online. Shields, 18%. Rain nodded. "That's enough." The Varnak soldiers moved fast. Sharp claws, black armor, no mercy. They attacked homes, fired on the weak. But Valkyrie came to life again. Turrets fired. Lasers burned. Missiles roared. Rain piloted manually. His eyes focused. His hand steady. One by one, the Varnak ships fell. But it wasn't enough. More landed. More came. In the command room, Captain Aaron stared at a console. He opened an old file. It had one name, Project Phoenix. He whispered it was never finished, but maybe. Rain ran inside, bleeding again. What is it? Aaron pointed. A message system, from Earth's early days. It connects to something old, something powerful, a defense network. Rain's eyes widened. You think it still works? Aaron shrugged. Only one way to find out. Rain activated the system. The signal shot through space. Fast, strong. It reached a satellite. Then another. Then a secret station hidden behind a dead moon. Inside that station, something awoke. A forgotten AI, a machine built long ago. Its name, Sentinel-0. It spoke for the first time in 50 years. Human distress signal received. Activating emergency defense. Back on Zeta-3, the sky turned red. Dozens of old Earth defense drones appeared, firing, scanning, destroying. The Varnak didn't expect it. They panicked. One by one, they were wiped out. In 10 minutes, it was over. Silence returned. Zeta-3 was safe. For now. Commander Rain looked at the survivors. The Varnak made their last mistake. They came to destroy us. But they woke something bigger. They woke the last defense of Earth. The stars shimmered. Silent. Watching. But deep in space, something had changed. Humanity had returned. Sentinel-0's message had spread like fire. Across old satellite networks. Through forgotten wormholes. To secret human outposts lost for years. Earth lives. Rise. Prepare for war. Ships once hidden were powered up. Old warriors stepped out of shadows. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, all united again. Humanity was building something. A fleet. At the heart of this new hope stood Commander Rain. He sat in Valkyrie's command chair, patched with wires and scars but still flying. Around him, dozens of new ships formed up, light cruisers, carriers, fighters. It was small, but it was enough. Rain looked at the screen. Target, Varnak Prime. The capital world of the enemy. The heart of the darkness. He said just one word. Go. The human fleet moved like a wave. Silent, fast, deadly. They knew the risks. They might not come back. But this was the final strike. The galaxy would remember. On Varnak Prime, alarms screamed. The strategist stood tall, watching screens fill with human ships. He growled, "They dare attack us now." A soldier stepped forward. They are weak, few in number. The strategist's eyes narrowed. So was Valkyrie, and it destroyed Oblivion. He clenched his claws. Prepare everything. This is our last stand. The final battle began. In space above Varnak Prime, fire filled the sky. The Varnak launched thousands of drones. Massive defense towers opened fire. But the human fleet was faster, stronger, smarter. Valkyrie led the charge. Rain flew through chaos, targeting key weak points. Beside him, Zeta-3 fighters flew tight formations. Behind them, Earth-built bombers released waves of destruction. But the Varnak didn't give up. They sent in giant bioships, monsters made of muscle and metal. One slammed into a human cruiser. Boom. Flames and debris. Rain's eyes filled with pain. Too many losses. He opened a secret channel. Sentinel-0. Do it. Far away, Sentinel-0 activated Protocol Omega. A hidden satellite, deep in enemy space, powered up. It fired one massive beam straight at the Varnak's shield generator. It cracked like glass. Rain shouted, "All ships, strike now." Valkyrie flew straight into the heart of the Varnak command center. The strategist saw it coming. He fired every weapon. But Rain didn't stop. He used Valkyrie's last missiles. He used its last energy cell. He used everything. Boom. The Varnak command tower exploded. The strategist screamed as fire took him. In the sky, Varnak ships lost direction. No orders. No leader. They began to fall one by one. Humanity had won. Later, Commander Rain stood on Varnak soil. His boots touched the ground of the world that had once laughed at humans. Now it was quiet. The war was over. A new flag was raised, not just of Earth, but of all free people. Captain Aaron walked beside him. "You did it," he said. Rain smiled, tired but proud. "We all did it." From the ashes of destruction, humans had risen again. Not as victims, not as prey, but as protectors, as warriors, as legends.